Marco, tell me more about the soil, location, differences.
The wine comes from the soil, not from the vineyard, from the winery or from the technique in the cellar. The 90% of the quality comes from here, from the vineyard, from the soil, and from the work we do for all the year. We just have Cortese grape, and so we can see this difference very well. If we change the vineyard, the exposition or the composition of the soil, the grape, the fruit is completely different. It's different the dimension of the grape, it's different in the taste, and also in the period of the maturation. This means that it's like two completely different kind of grape. Many years ago, we decided to produce two single vineyards and to have two single wine, two single label, to show how the grape can, I don't know the name in English, l'influenza sul vino.
Can affect the wine.
Yeah.
How the difference can affect the wine.
Exactly.
The soil can affect
Exactly.
the wine.
Very strong. The Fornaci, for example, is a wine that we produce for argilla.
For Fornaci comes from a soil that is much more clay.
Clay, exactly. And Rolona is another wine we produce. Is just from limestone. And the difference is quite important, because if you taste together the two wines, you can speak about two different wines.
La differenza qual è tra i due?
Qui abbiamo una presenza di ferro più accentuata rispetto a un terreno completamente calcareo.
So here they have a higher percentage of iron compared to a soil that is 100% limestone. Therefore, the color is yellow, but it's kind of a mix. The more clay, the darker it gets. The more limestone, the lighter color it gets. Here we are like a medium range. Ma nell'uva questo cosa si traduce?
Allora, se fossimo in un terreno completamente argilloso avremmo dei profumi più accentuati. Se invece fosse calcare abbiamo una morbidezza, un corpo maggiore rispetto ai profumi. Questa è la differenza che noi riscontriamo.
So this translated to the grape, the more clay we get in the soil, the more perfumes that we're gonna get. The more limestone we get in the soil, the more body and structure we're gonna get. So it's all about to find the right mix in the soil that the vine is able to interpret. So when we have a winery, small, boutique, like Castellari Bergaglio, those differences are kept separate, and so we can get many different Gavi. Same region, same grape, same winemaker, many different. If we were talking with a mass-producing winery, they would harvest this vineyard, that vineyard, that vineyard, put all together, so you will not be able to appreciate and detect the difference between more clay, less clay, more iron, less iron, that actually we can actually do here. So I would just, taking a walk in this beautiful vineyard, Marco explained the differences in the soil and everything, but taking a walk I saw so many grape on the floor. I thought, are they sick? Or something is wrong? He said, no, there is nothing wrong here. Here we do what is called diradamento. E lo fai più o meno quando?
Inizio agosto quest'anno abbiamo fatto.
At the very beginning of August, before the grape actually start getting the color and developing the sugar, the very first week of August, they come in the vineyard, they look at the cluster, and they cut literally down, as you can see, they cut on the floor the exceed of the production. They leave a limited amount of grape, therefore the vine give all the power, all the strength into the few clusters that are there. I just asked Marco, well, how deep you cut? And he said, well, Nicola, winemaking, as you well known, is not a recipe. To say this is the yield per hectare, this is how many clusters per vine, this is BS for brochure. is every vineyard is different, every soil is different, every age is different. So, and every harvest is different. If you really force me to answer you, I would say that we average between 4 to 6 clusters per vine. But a vine might have 7, a vine might have 2. This one is the old Rovereto, Vigna Vecchia, is the old vine. We cannot load the old vine as much as we load the young one. Very interesting. I asked Marco, taking a walk in your beautiful vineyard, I noticed that there is no grass. You can actually, if the raw soil here. In other vineyard, you can actually see a yard, a beautiful yard. Well, Marco said, traditionally it is in this area of Piedmont, there is not a tradition to keep the grass. We at Castellari Bergaglio actually used to keep the grass. But this year was a very beautiful vintage, was a very warm summer with basically no rain. So in order to help the vine, they decide to plow and get rid of the grass to let more oxygen and umidità forse anche,
sì.
and more humidity to the vine. So again, it's not a recipe, is in giving the interpretation harvest after harvest after harvest. So when it comes to the Gavi di Gavi Rovereto Vigna Vecchia means old vine. Marco just told me that it doesn't come from one single vineyard, but it comes from his different vineyards, selecting the oldest vine in each portion of the vineyard. So in this way, he's gonna get a mix of different soil, more clay, less clay, more limestone, more iron, different soil. The only common aspect will be the age of the vine. So smaller cluster, richer cluster, more nutrition, but mixing the different elements of the different soil in one amazing wine. Let's move forward that direction and we show you something different.